alpha, beta spelling, ancestral Knosis, and serious caring, IB, theater, masquerade. I look into myself, phone, I look into myself, I look into my own mirror. And if I develop that perception and perspective, I literally care about everyone. And that's why I'm making these videos. Because the ancestral Knosis and knowledge of myself told me that I could create whatever I would spell out. And this is what my tricks is doing. That means that I create when I speak. So I am very humble and I am very truthful and I'm very compassionate and I'm very tolerant with opening up my portal in here if I spell something out, because that's a more densified version of spirit, that's a more densified version of thought. And this is how I organize this experience, because I say so. And all these puppets, including leaders, have not real ancestral Knosis of themselves. And this is why we live in that completely delusion of self, where not many beings have the capacity in their brain, in their gray matter, upgrade your brain matter, because one day it may matter, because you put that into a more densified thing. Does it make sense to you what I'm trying to describe here? Or is it just words and mirrors, everybody opening up their mouth, and then we have these little, mosaic pictures. I was saying that today in one of my videos. See, and this is what, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Why am I participating in that video game? It's a video game. Life is a game anyways. And everybody takes it damn serious. But now we put ourselves into another layer of the matrix, which it is for sure, if you see the grid, if you fasted long enough. And that doesn't mean that you have to do it. Maybe I'm talking you into a complete, out of the box belief system. But I'm pretty sure that this game here that everybody plays is for sure a matrix. And that doesn't mean it's good or bad. But we're here for the experience, and we're here for experiencing our own soul, and developing our own light, our own darkness, and fusing it together to become gray, which means wise or intelligent. So why am I stressing so much this Polarian truth, this hermaphrodite thing, this Harry Weishart thing, or to run wisely, or Harmony Grange Heart, Green Heart, shocking raw, because I have the ancestral Knosis of spelling. That means I could put every sign on the sine wave of life, which is the in and out breath. On, like, if you look into the ocean, it's a wave. The sinus and cosinus curve. Now, if you would understand that each and every letter is by and on itself a symbol, a sign, and you could flip it around and trick with it and mirror it, or you could put it onto its head, it doesn't make sense to you anymore. So this is how you would free up yourself from your own created belief systems. Now, this may be a belief system that I created for myself also, that I have to free myself up also from, because it's also very bizarre. But at least it's a more eagle eye perception and perspective of how this game of life is occurring. Now, and I decoded a lot of this for me. I decoded so much from it that I got to the point that I was like, that doesn't make any sense anymore. So why am I doing it? I can't tell you. Maybe it was, or it is because I am so truthful. And I want to know the truth. And I am truthfulness. I am compassion. And I am tolerant with myself and with everything that I'm presented with. Now, this gets, like I said, into the alpha beta spelling capacity. That means everything that you say becomes. This gets into mind programs, this gets into your teachers, your preachers. And I'm not coming from a place anymore where I'm telling you all of you are retarded because you don't know. That was an expression of myself in the past. Maybe I will be there in the future again because I want to express myself in this way. See, this is the beautiful thing of life. You know, everything is allowed, everything is permitted. There are no rules, basically, as long as you're not being catched, right? So catch me if you can. But I stay on this wise heart, on this hairy, wise-hearted experience and generating, fluxing truthfulness through myself in order to uplift humanity into a more sourced, a more original aspect, which was basically always there, but you are not willing to see it. You don't want to dig the hole. You don't want to get deeper into it. You just are like happy with the way it is, which gets me into the next thing, which gets me into the serious caring. Because, and this is where tolerance basically comes into place. And I was a damn asshole in the past. Let me tell you this. Like, I mean, maybe not from your perception, what you might think is an asshole, but I was that from my perception, because I was not on this humble and tolerant perception. I was on that path where I was like, I know better than you, but I do not. I do not. You get it? I'm a donut. Why am I a donut? Because I am a force field. What the fuck does that mean, Jan? That means that I'm not my body, but I am my surroundings. I am my consciousness. I am what I perceive as an information outside from myself. I am the subconscious iceberg, observing the information that I'm presented with. That's what I am. That's what I am at every moment. So once the moment is gone, I cannot hold on to that anymore. So that's why it's not really mattering what occurs in 1 minute or what was occurring a minute ago. It only matters what I'm right here, right now doing. But what is also important is, what do I carry in my field, in my Thoris field? And I carry a lot of ancestral knowledge of the avatar, which is the human design basically, in myself. Why am I carrying that in me? Because I was digging into myself so much. Now you could dig it outside from you. Yeah, Jan, you're saying always dig, dig, dig. Are you a dickhead or what? Yeah, I'm a dickhead. I'm a male, but I'm also an F male. See the funny thing of it, the funny thing with it, yeah, I'm F male, a male. I'm an hermaphrodite. I have no sex, but I have both sexes. I am a pole, but I'm also not my pole, I'm the room. So I'm always breaking myself with what I think might be true. And this just gets into melanin, this gets into the ancestral Knosis and knowledge of black. This gets into the pupil, the black peoples. And this gets into alchemy, this gets into burning and cooking yourself over and over again. So if you get to the essence, it becomes black. If you would go into a lab, which is yourself, because you are the laboratory, you would cook and burn yourself over and over and over again. So you develop your character, you develop your field, and you develop your knowledge. And this is what you carry with you. Now, I just carry what I carry around with myself. And sometimes the backpack is very full, but I know how to empty it out. But I also know that it's not only about emptying out, it's also about what do you fill your home with. So I fill up my cup, and this is what my programs are. So I know how to program my computer, but I can also delete all the programs and all the viruses that are running on my device, and then I can start from a new day, right? And this is basically what occurs with the human mind all day or every day. You get reborn. At least you should be. But we dig the hole so deep into certain aspects that we cannot pull ourselves out of it anymore. And I include myself in that shit. I was opening up this genie treasure box of shamanism, and poof, 2 years later, I'm still sitting here producing these videos. And I still remember I was going these exact pathways, physically, mentally, but I was only producing audios. So maybe I should only produce audios, and then I should fuse them together with I don't know, maybe a black screen, because it's more important what I say, and it's about the Knosis that I basically give, and not about the image, the homage. Because I was already saying that your eyes are fooling you. The eyes are so much fooling, because why do you think you're here in this experience? To spiritualize things. But to only spiritualize things and then be like, okay, you know what? Everything else doesn't matter anymore. I was there also. So this is why it's unbalanced. So I'm always trying to find my balance with things. I'm always trying to rise through the challenge. And I know I think most beings do not really understand when I say this game is a matrix, because you could not hold onto that idea, onto that ideal in your mind. You're like, no, this is, you watch too much movies, yeah, and this, what you say is not true. Well, okay, observe your surroundings, and then you literally see that what you think is occurring is only an image, an imaginational process in yourself. What do I mean with that? Observe your conscious movements throughout the day. Just sit still and observe your surroundings. Now, everybody thinks they're basically traveling, they're going somewhere. But what does change? I'm going to say that one more time. Only your positions and your mind space changes. Nothing else. But still, these two eyes are so following, so guiding for you. And still, I know, what I focus on, that's what I'm hocus pocus wizarding out of the box. So I'm watching tell lie visions basically all the freaking time, because I tell lies to my own vision, because I see this game here, right? You get it? And this is why it's so occulted, so much hidden. It's behind what you might perceive. This gets into symbolism, and then focus on the space in between. Like I said, focus on the space in between my fingers. Alright? So this would connect you to black matter. Black Lives Matter. Or focus on, you could focus on different shapes that you perceive with your eyes. And this deprograms basically your normal thinking. But also, hey, like this is not how the basic human mind operates. So I can shoot up my own rocket with that so much high up in the sky, and then like, okay, I'm totally not alone, but like, how does it help me? Which gets me to the original thing that I described in the very first beginning. Be there for loved ones. Be there for all. And I was spelling the B with a double E because that means that I am flying around like a bee, and I'm just happy with where I am. And I know that I emit all feelings through and out of myself. So does everybody else. So I transmute and I alchemize, I spiritualize. Spiritualization. Let's use that word. When was the last time you said spiritualization? See, this is how you wordcraft, and you basically worldcraft, and you basically whiz. You basically wise. You wizard. You blizzard. It's a blizzard in here right now. Because if you say so, if you say a certain word that organizes the mind space, the space of all, which is mind. And if you're going to do that, you organize the thinking. You organize the matter. And this is basically imagination. This is magic, isn't it? So only because I say so, I could be like, hey, you know what? Everything that I told you in the last 2 years was just a story. It was just a complete joke. I was joking you all the time. But you know what? You fought for it. And I got you. So you believe all of the shit that I talked. But hey, you know what? The beautiful thing with it is I would never do it. I only said and mirrored and transparized myself so much completely the way I am out into the world. Because I love you. And I love myself. And this is why I say everybody is a wizard. Everybody is a magician. But you or they don't know. Or if they would know, they're using it for their own beneficial programs. Which I'm also doing. I'm also using that for myself. I'm like, you know what, you believe my programs. But this is why I also say I don't care if you like my videos or if you don't like them. I don't care if you rate them up or you rate them down. I don't care how much views they get. But maybe I should care because I know what I say is anchored, at least for myself. And maybe it's not working for you. Maybe with your mind programs, it's impossible to enter and understand it. You can't maybe understand it. You can't maybe you don't want to listen. And that's fine for me. It's fine for you. So this gets us ourselves into this ego mind frame again, which is necessary for this experience. I get it. And this is why I say, you know, like, hey, if I literally be with others, you think if I am with others, I am the way that I am here on the YouTubes? No. I mean, I am, but first of all, I don't talk in English. Second of all, I'm not annoying others with my Gnosis in real life. Why is that? Because I was doing that and I was figuring out that it's not beneficial, it's not helpful. But what is definitely helpful is if I have tolerance, and if I have an open heart, and if I have the time and the strength and the power to be there. And if I can endure you no matter what, I'm like a stone, I'm like a rock star, and I'm just sitting there. And I'm there for you. And no matter what, you can tell me whatever you would like to tell me. And I have tolerance for you. I would be the best therapist for you. Why? Because I'm just sitting there. I'm like a punching bag for words. Because I know for a fact, I know how powerful words are. Words are organizing your reality. That's how it is. But in the end, it's just words and mirrors, right? Don't take it so freaking serious. But you should definitely take it more serious what I say. If you make it until 20 minutes of listening to John, whoever that is. Because the ancestral knowledge, you know what? Right here in Germany, we still live in how is it called? A GmbH. In a GmbH. Like basically Germany, the Republic of Germany is not existing to the degree that you think it exists. But hey, you know what? In the end, I'm already out of this political thinking or whatever. Because I can decode. And if you can decode, and I was explaining to you how it works one more time, you would just flip and trick every letter around, and every letter by and on itself is just a symbol to you. So that means you organize the symbol with the power that it has and that it means to you. So this is how you cannot be tricked. But this is only possible if you have the knowledge of an imaginist, a mentalist, a witcher, a speller. This is what I can do. See, and this is why I say it's just an homage. It's an homage. It's a masquerade. But in this masquerade, I choose to use my powers to empower all. And to give you your own freedom again. And that has only, but only something to do with your perception and perspective, your outlook on life. That's only what it is. That's real freedom. Because you're still anchored in this 3D realm with your avatar. And you cannot escape it as long as you're here. And you live here in this human spacesuit in order to spiritualize things. Because from my knowledge, the human design, the human experience is the only experience where you could experience both, the physical and the spiritual. As a highly developed spiritual being, you cannot basically interact with matter. Because you're just too much high vibrating. And if you would go to the underworld, see this, you try to suck from humans, which are the transmitters between the spirit and the down under, the dead. In the underworld, they try to suck this light out of spirits, out of humans. So this is why I say, like, life in the balance arises through the challenge. I mean, and this basically what, you know, like, a shaman is. Why do I don't even know. Why the fuck do I call myself Jan Shamanic? Doesn't make sense. Like, I could also give myself the name of esoteric shit talker, right? Because what I say, does that even make sense to you? Or you're like, hey Jan, what you say is a story. Hey, but you know what? Everybody tells a story. We're here in Wonderland. We're here in Fairyland. And that's my belief system, and that's why I say it. It's like that. Do you believe in the spaghetti monster? Hey, but you believe in politics, right? But politics organizes the whole thing. That's true. And certainly it does a good job. Does it? I don't know. But see, this is what I'm just describing with belief systems. And that's why I would say, like, I am very highly intelligent with this, what I'm giving, with belief systems, with the human mind, basically, because I decoded my mind, I decoded myself. I'm like, fuck. And if you have really done that, if you really decoded your own mind, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. Because now you realize that this is a game. But hey, now it's on me, alright? It's like, okay, Ready Player One. Now it's on me, okay? I freed myself from these delusions. Now it's time for me to create my own delusions. Because, like I said, I know we are one collective being. And this is why I also say I don't care about how many views I get. Because I know deep inside of me that this knowledge is, like, imagine everybody would have that source knowledge. It would not work. It just would not work. And this is why tolerance, once again, is so damn important. Hey, you know what? I tolerate you with no matter what you do. I love you. And you could call me, you'd be like, hey, Jan, you know, I need your help. Hey, let's talk, you know. That's the best thing that could happen to all of us. To just be yourself and express yourself and, like, start to make a channel, start to make a schedule, write down things, talk more with others, express yourself. And I do these videos because I don't want to annoy the others, the loved ones, my family, my friends, my parents, and my friends that I love, my colleagues, with what I say, because I know you know what I do? If I only put like little, I microdose knowledge. I microdose knowledge, and I only say specific things at specific times. And I only drop, I don't know, maybe one or two, 3 words. And I know I am powerful with what I say. I know. So is everybody. But I know that I can fuck up your mind with what I say. And this is why I was causing a lot of confusion in the past when I was opening up my mouth. So this is why I just talk on the YouTubes and I be there for others, for all, when I go to somebody And this is how I really heal. This is how I heal you. Because you could be, I give you the space and room to be and express yourself. Because this place here is so full of everybody trying to find a way to nowhere, to now there, to now here, and now then you become one, and then you have one, because you have gone inside of yourself. And this is what I do. This is what I am. And I give you the space and room to express and be yourself. And you can talk to me in the whatever fashion. I don't care, because I know in the end it's just noise. Everybody produces noise, and somebody produce and I don't rank the noise, but it's just symbols put together, and they in the end equal your imagination. But see, you haven't been to that point. And I could explain to you my mind and my belief systems, and I'm damn sure what I say is more than 3,030% true. I know. But I still would not throw in this knowledge, although it is true, because I experienced that if I would do that, I'm causing trouble. And I'm causing trouble with it because I break your belief systems with it. And that obviously has to go against your thinkings. And this is why you're annoyed with it. It's like, fuck, what he says is true. But there's a part in you which is like, no, this is not working at all. This is, no. And this is why you become mad. See, but I also know that no matter if you say nothing, or if you become mad, or if you love, or whatever, it's just a sine wave clashing onto a rock, which I am, a rock star. Yeah, start to study the occult and you lose all your friends. And then you start to, what I do, I give space and room for everybody to express themselves. And this is basically, if you would decode your own brain to that part, to that degree, you would understand that this is why you have this device. And I also know, I open up this YouTube box, this YouTube window of my soul. I was biting into the apple of YouTube. So this is why I'm now on this YouTube mission. I was like, mission what? But I know I could, I could do so much things. Everybody is whizzing all the time their own imagination into the world. See, and I could use my energy to create a job. But this is probably what I'm designed to do. This is why I'm doing it. And this is why I tolerate myself with it. And I'm becoming better and better with it. But I also will transmute and transmit that into a job, into a capacity to create money, into a self-sustaining operation system. So this is why I was telling you, express yourself. I figured out I express myself, and through this I am able to connect and get into the spiritualization of things. See, that's why I would say we're here, Because in the end, why is this human experience there? It's like a train station. You train in here, but you also travel with a train to the next phase of consciousness, which is then probably a less densified version than the human design, which gets into the soul, which gets into the light, or into the light probably. Because the higher you start to vibrate, the more light you will become, right? Isn't it? Yeah, it is. But I have to be more aware of the dark substance, because otherwise I'm like, I know all these things. I know the sun gazing, I know the meditation, the Shivamukalpa, the fasting, the distilled water. I know all of this. The fruits, the diet and deity aspect. So, to create with more dense matter. Create and care about and uplift humanity. That's what I do. Uplifting, because this is what is just in myself. In myself is that I care about my loved ones, basically my own personas, my own masks. That means the others, which are me. And this is why it's so absurd. And basically I know I cannot push onto them my belief systems. Over time it will work, and over time it is working. I know that, because that's the fruits from the seeds that I was throwing into the ether. See, this is what occurs. This is how we organize the structs, destructs and structs and instructs, and it stays a process. That's what nature and maturity is. But to make a long cycle short, and to condense time, to make a quantum jump, I am like a rock, and I endure whatever you throw into or onto me. And to protect myself from, you could, if you punch me, that's like, most people would probably not deal with a punch. They would be punched and they would be knocked out, like, hey there. Or they would be like, hey, he punched me, so I'm going to call all my friends, and then we go to him and we punch him again. It's like, whatever. But if you would punch me, I would take it on like, okay, whatever. You punch me, I know how to heal myself. I would probably, you punch me here, like, okay, punch me there, whatever. It was like, I can, all right. But you know what? Words are, at least to me, more powerful, because that's something on a way deeper layer. But I would also decode how you punch, basically. How your technique is, how you punch me and why you punch me. But I know that nobody will ever punch me. Why? There is no reason why somebody would ever punch me. So, and to protect yourself from words is just more important, because words are organizing your thinking, and your thinking organizes your spelling, and your thinking and your spelling organizes your reality in this 3D your tricks game. So the quest is, how advanced is your wizardry? That's the quest. And you are on the level of your imaginational process equals your status or your material surroundings. Right? That's what I would say. And this is why you see a lot of I only know a few people who made it through this game with a lot of knowledge, creating their reality and tricking basically the system to work in their favor. But for the most part, the more money a being has, the more they sold their soul, which is their light, to something else. But I know that I can do it, and I refuse to get it both. So I may, not to be greedy or something, but to make it humble, to make it pleasurable, a pleasurable experience, a nice experience. Don't you want to have a nice experience in here? Yeah, sure. It's like, and this starts with appreciating and tolerating everything that is presented to me. And then my reality starts to work in my favor. I know that. And I put in, see, if I give you the room, and if I would give you myself to play with, because everything is basically toys, then you would understand. So what he said is everything is toys. Yeah, you don't own your tools. You don't own that. It's there for the collective. It's there for the collective consciousness. See? But hey, I make it a nice and pleasurable experience for a long time, so I own my toys for a longer period, and then I would pass it on to the next generation and be like, hey, you know what? Honor it. The honor codes. Work with the Knosis and care about your loved ones with honor in your heart. So that's it for now. Alpha, beta spelling, and the ancestor Knosis.